Watch out!
Hey, the Switch 2 is right around the corner, and that corner seems to be 2025. We all know it, but what we don't know are specifics. Luckily, we have a few trails to follow from manufacturers, reputable insiders, developers, and even Nintendo themselves, which we will definitely get to in this video, so make sure you save some money for after this holiday season, because it looks like you're gonna need it. First, let's talk about what went down a few months ago. Back in September, Fami Boards revealed that a shipment of 800,000 NVIDIA T239 chips were made to one of Nintendo's manufacturers. The T239 is specifically made for mobile hardware, which the Switch is, and it's not the same chip used in the current Nintendo Switches, as they use the Tegra X1. It's safe to assume that the new chips are going to be for the Switch 2 system, as the specs are more in line with modern consoles like the PS5. Now, 800,000 doesn't sound like all that many when you consider how many consoles need to be made for distribution. But keep in mind, this order was done in September, which means they were likely just doing a large batch of consoles for mass playtesting. And this is one of the final steps before a full reveal and release. Now, we do have corroborating evidence that a Switch 2 release is imminent, because during a recent conference to investors, it became public knowledge that Nintendo stated they'd be presenting the Switch 2 no later than March 31st, 2025, solidifying an early 2025 reveal date for the Switch 2. Within these same conferences, Nintendo also revealed that the Switch 2 will be backwards compatible with Switch 1, and that they actually have more to reveal related to that feature in the future. Which, of course, we know from reputable leaks that I've covered in previous videos that the more to talk about regarding that backwards compatibility feature is that the Switch 2 will actually enhance Switch 1 games to look and play better when you play a Switch 1 game on the Switch 2. This also makes sense when we know that Nintendo will also be trying to sell new Switch 1 games in 2025 alongside the Switch 2, like Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends ZA. These two games will be poster children for this new enhancement feature and help to sell the console, even if they don't have dedicated Switch 2 versions. Now, we won't be seeing this announcement before 2025 though, because it wouldn't make sense for Nintendo to distract this year's holiday season with a console that won't be out till next year. Like, think about all the normies that are going to buy Switch 1 and some games for it this holiday season. If they announced Switch 2 this year, those sales would definitely suffer, because all those people will just say, well, why would we get a Switch when a better one is coming out soon anyways? Let's just wait. And of course, those normies don't keep up with leaks, unlike us, because we're clearly not normies, so they currently have no idea Switch successor is even coming out until they inevitably see ads for it on their TV. Couldn't be me. No, sir. Even the analyst on Toyo Securities, Hideki Yasuda, has gone on record to substantiate this reasoning of why Nintendo won't announce Switch 2 before the year ends. So, that leaves us with a clear window. The reveal would be somewhere between January 1st, 2025 and March 31st, 2025, which is very promising. Couple this with Riddler Koo's hints that a Pokemon Legends ZA trailer is coming before Pokemon Day, which takes place in February, and our window looks a little tighter depending on how you look at it. If we think they'd coincide the announcements, then the Switch 2 announcement will also likely be in February at the latest. If we think they'll try to create some room between the announcements, then the Switch 2 reveal will likely be after the ZA trailer, since ZA will be the poster child for the enhanced Switch 1 game's feature. And since this is the path I believe they will take, the reveal would be in none other than March, which is my final estimate when we piece everything together. As for the release of the console, we've been seeing varying reports from different sources, but all of them do agree on one thing, so let's go through them. Stephen George, a gaming blogger, showed off info from an insider email he got for a game releasing in Q1 of 2025, saying that it will release for Nintendo Switch systems, plural. In this case, he firmly believes Switch 2 might actually release no later than March 31st, which isn't hard to believe since Switch 1 released in March of 2017. However, I'm skeptical since I don't see the release being so soon after the reveal. Plus, saying Switch systems plural doesn't necessarily mean what we think it does, since we had the same reaction back when we saw the teaser trailer for Pokemon Legends EA, which in some countries said something similar using the plural version of Switch systems. But the recent Terra leak revealed that the title will only be for Switch 1, not for Switch 2 at all. So again, using the plural form of Switch systems might just be referring to like the Switch Lite, the Switch OLED, and the regular Nintendo Switch. Meanwhile, Nintendo claims a leak from a credible insider indicated a summer release for the system. But unfortunately, who their source is exactly remains extremely vague, because they didn't give us any specifics. So it's hard to believe that one either. As I mentioned, the one thing that all these claims have in common though, is that the system will be released in 2025. And I firmly believe that as well. I, who's been one of the few voices that's tried to convince people that Switch 2 was not happening for a long time, do believe that we're just about at that time now finally. Literally as far back as 2022, I was trying to tell people Switch 2 is not happening until at least 2024. And now that 2024 came and went with a very small batch of first-party titles announced throughout the year, it's become clear, in my opinion, that we're finally at that goalpost. I do want to encourage caution with what you may be seeing within the next coming months. People have already begun flocking to uncredible leaks, like some images of Joy-Cons that surfaced recently, looking like they might be for Switch 2 since their sideways shoulder buttons are different. But for all we know, these were just 3D prints, or user-modified Joy-Cons from Switch 1, or hey, just generated images altogether. Time and time again, fake leaks have gripped the fan base, and while that may hinder or help expectations when we finally get the product we were promised, that's debatable, but one thing is for sure. It's a clear indication that we're all excited and desire a Switch successor that does more of the same, but better. So, what are your thoughts on the announcement and the release dates for Switch 2? Let us all know down in the comments so we can talk about it and debate what we all think, and afterwards, check out more of my videos like this one here, where I discuss some more of the reputable Switch 2 leaks. I've been johtojonny, and I'll catch you all there.